Maryland Real Estate Exam Prep. Question 1. A property manager handling a mixed-use property in College Park must identify the broker's basic Maryland duty while holding transaction funds. Which choice is correct? Option A, keep trust money until an authorized disposition occurs. Option B, promptly account for all trust money. Option C, provide notice to both interested parties before a good-faith distribution. Option D, keep brokerage and client money separate. The correct answer is option A, keep trust money until an authorized disposition occurs. The money remains protected until settlement, termination, proper written instructions, a court order, or another authorized statutory distribution. The contract and governing law determine the permitted disposition. A broker cannot release disputed funds merely because one party demands them. Question 2. During a marketing review for a subdivision lot in Silver Spring, PREA needs to identify the rule described as a Maryland disciplinary rule addressing misleading investment promises. Which answer applies? Option A, verify a recommended home-improvement contractor's license annually. Option B, do not guarantee future resale profits. Option C, avoid prizes, lotteries, or contests used to influence a property sale. Option D, disclose known or reasonably knowable material facts. The correct answer is option B, do not guarantee future resale profits. Investment analysis must use reasonable assumptions and clear limitations. A licensee cannot assure a buyer that later resale will produce a profit. Market conditions are uncertain and such claims can deceptively influence a purchase. Question 3. A salesperson is reviewing a small apartment building in Frederick. Which term describes the maximum administrative monetary penalty Maryland may impose under the cited disciplinary section? Option A, disclose known or reasonably knowable material facts. Option B, avoid prizes, lotteries, or contests used to influence a property sale. Option C, a penalty of up to $5,000 per violation. Option D, do not guarantee future resale profits. The correct answer is option C, a penalty of up to $5,000 per violation. The fine may be imposed instead of or in addition to reprimand, suspension, or revocation. Separate violations can create separate penalty exposure. The Commission considers seriousness, harm, good faith, and prior violations when setting an amount. Stressed about your Maryland real estate? We can take Maryland real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. At a lease negotiation, a Maryland exam candidate encounters the following description: a Maryland duty that applies regardless of which participant the licensee represents. Which concept is being tested? Option A, present written offers and counteroffers promptly. Option B, no later than the first scheduled face-to-face contact. Option C, display the Commission open-house notice conspicuously. Option D, treat every party fairly and honestly. The correct answer is option D, treat every party fairly and honestly. Fiduciary advocacy for a client operates within these duties to all parties. The licensee must respond truthfully and offer property without unlawful discrimination. Representation does not authorize deception or withholding material property facts from the other side. Question 5. Imani is assisting with a condominium unit transaction in Ocean City. Which principle applies when the facts involve the required location for Maryland Trust money records? Option A, a secured area within the broker's office. Option B, keep trust money until an authorized disposition occurs. Option C, provide notice to both interested parties before a good-faith distribution. Option D, written instructions or written agreement of the interested parties. The correct answer is option A, a secured area within the broker's office. Trust-account documentation must be protected from unauthorized access or loss. The record should permit the broker and commission personnel to trace deposits and disbursements. Secure storage supports the broker's accounting and supervision duties. Question 6. Which answer most accurately identifies the Maryland duty when the obligation to keep transaction funds ends in a real estate transaction? Option A, notify the Commission in writing within 10 days. Option B, promptly account for all trust money. Option C, a non-interest-bearing escrow or special account. Option D, keep trust money until an authorized disposition occurs. The correct answer is option B, promptly account for all trust money. Accurate accounting protects both the owner and beneficial owner. The broker must show the receipts, balance, and authorized disposition of the money. Delay or unexplained shortages can lead to disciplinary consequences. Question 7. A question arising during due diligence meeting concerns the state body responsible for licensing, examination, regulation, and discipline of real estate licensees. Which choice gives the best classification? Option A, the Maryland Association of Realtors. Option B, the Local Planning Commission. Option C, the Maryland Real Estate Commission. Option D, the Maryland Department of Assessments and Taxation. The correct answer is option C, the Maryland Real Estate Commission. The commission acts to protect public health, safety, and welfare through professional regulation. Private trade associations do not issue Maryland real estate licenses. It adopts and enforces rules within authority granted by statute. Question 8. While analyzing a warehouse, Amina must apply the concept involving the retention period when a Maryland-listed transaction does not close. Which answer should be selected? Option A, 3 years after the listing date. Option B, 5 years after the license expires. Option C, until the property is listed again. Option D, 5 years after the listing date. The correct answer is option D, 5 years after the listing date. Closing minus based retention applies only when the transaction is completed. Maryland still requires preservation of the listing and related documents when no settlement occurs. The 5-year period is measured from the listing date in that circumstance. Are you looking for Maryland real estate actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access Maryland Real Estate Study Guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get Maryland Real Estate Answer Key today. Question 9. Which real estate term is defined by the Maryland limitation designed to prevent a team from appearing to be an independent brokerage? Option A, avoid the words real estate or real estate brokerage in the team name. Option B, include at least one licensee team member's name. Option C, show the broker or branch manager telephone number. Option D, present a true and non-misleading picture. The correct answer is option A, avoid the words real estate or real estate brokerage in the team name. The team name must not mislead consumers about who is responsible for supervision. Advertising must directly connect the team name with the brokerage name. A team operates within the licensed broker's business rather than as a separate brokerage. Question 10. In a transaction involving a vacant parcel, which rule controls when there is a required subject in the Maryland written representation disclosure? Option A, display the commission open house notice conspicuously. Option B, explain the differences among Maryland agency roles. Option C, treat every party fairly and honestly. Option D, disclose representation through the medium of first contact. The correct answer is option B, explain the differences among Maryland agency roles. Understanding the roles supports informed decisions about entering a brokerage agreement. The disclosure also describes fairness, confidentiality, material minus fact, and offer minus presentation duties. Consumers must be able to distinguish seller agency, buyer agency, subagency, dual agency, and intra-minus company representation. Question 11. A buyer representative asks about the Maryland requirement when a licensee advertises the sale, rent, or purchase of real property. Which answer provides the legally accurate concept? Option A, show the broker or branch manager telephone number. Option B, include at least one licensee team member's name. Option C, disclose the advertiser's license status and broker relationship. Option D, present a true and non-misleading picture. The correct answer is option C, disclose the advertiser's license status and broker relationship. The public should know that the advertiser is acting as a licensed professional. A salesperson or associate broker must also identify the broker on whose behalf the advertisement is made. Failure to provide the information can be grounds for discipline. Question 12. Hector encounters the deadline tied to a successful Maryland examination result during a contract revision. Which principle should guide the analysis? Option A, apply within 30 days. Option B, apply within 2 years. Option C, apply at any time without score expiration. Option D, apply for licensure within 1 year after passing. The correct answer is option D, apply for licensure within 1 year after passing. Waiting beyond the permitted period can require additional examination steps. Maryland requires successful candidates to complete the original license process before the passing score expires. Prompt application also allows the candidate to complete brokerage affiliation and fee requirements. Question 13. Which choice best matches the description the confidentiality rule governing price and terms in Maryland dual agency? Option A. Do not reveal a client's negotiating limits without authorization. Option B. Disclose offered financial bonuses to each party. Option C. The broker or designated branch office manager. Option D. Assign separate intra-company agents to the buyer and seller. The correct answer is option A. Do not reveal a client's negotiating limits without authorization. The seller's willingness to accept less and the buyer's willingness to pay more are protected information. Protecting these facts prevents one side from gaining an unfair bargaining advantage. Motivation and urgency are also confidential unless disclosure is authorized or required by law. Question 14. During review of a retail suite in Cambridge, the parties discuss the authorization required before a Maryland broker maintains an additional branch location. Which term applies? Option A. A separate salesperson license. Option B. A branch office certificate. Option C. A local occupancy permit only. Option D. A new business entity charter. The correct answer is option B. A branch office certificate. Opening the location without the required authorization violates the licensing framework. The broker must obtain the certificate and identify the individual appointed to manage the office. Each branch must operate under the broker's license and supervision structure. Question 15. An exam scenario presents the examination requirement before a Maryland salesperson can proceed toward original licensure. Which answer is most accurate? Option A. Pass only the national portion. Option B. Average the two scores into one result. Option C. Pass both the national and state portions. Option D. Pass only the state portion. The correct answer is option C. Pass both the national and state portions. Each portion must be passed at the required standard rather than averaging the scores together. A candidate who passes only one part must still satisfy the remaining portion within the applicable eligibility period. Maryland divides the licensing examination into separate national and state components. Question 16. A licensee preparing for a lease negotiation must recognize the Maryland professional duty concerning significant property information. Which concept does this describe? Option A. Do not guarantee future resale profits. Option B. Verify a recommended home minus improvement contractor's license annually. Option C. A penalty of up to $5,000 per violation. Option D. Disclose known or reasonably knowable material facts. The correct answer is option D. Disclose known or reasonably knowable material facts. Technical matters should be referred to qualified specialists when needed. The licensee should make a reasonable effort to ascertain material facts about property accepted for agency. Intentional concealment and negligent failure to investigate obvious issues can both support discipline. Question 17. Which answer correctly classifies a situation involving the Maryland rule when initial agency contact is not face-to-face? Option A. Disclose representation through the medium of first contact. Option B. Explain the differences among Maryland agency roles. Option C. Treat every party fairly and honestly. Option D. Present written offers and counteroffers promptly. The correct answer is option A. Disclose representation through the medium of first contact. A telephone, email, or other remote contact requires a representation disclosure in that communication method. The later written form requirements still apply at the appropriate stage. Early disclosure prevents the other party from assuming the licensee represents them. Question 18. At a title examination in Laurel, Quinton explains the principal pre-licensing education requirement for a Maryland salesperson applicant. Which real estate principle is involved? Option A. Complete a 30-hour course. Option B. Complete an approved 60-hour course. Option C. Complete a 75-hour course. Option D. Complete experience instead of education. The correct answer is option B. Complete an approved 60-hour course. The course includes a 3-hour ethics component approved by the Commission. The approved salesperson curriculum is limited to 60 clock hours and covers national and state topics. Passing a school course does not replace the state licensing examination.
Stressed about your FCLE? We can take FCLE for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 19. A transaction file for a rental home raises an issue involving the document establishing a Maryland residential brokerage relationship between a broker and client. Which answer best resolves the classification? Option A. Disclose representation through the medium of first contact. Option B. no later than the first scheduled face-to-minus face contact. Option C, a written brokerage agreement. Option D, treat every party fairly and honestly. The correct answer is option C, a written brokerage agreement. The agreement defines the representation, services, compensation, and duties. The document also helps the parties understand potential conflicts and termination rights. Agency should not be inferred from casual assistance when state law requires a written relationship. Question 20. Which concept should an associate broker apply to facts involving the Maryland passing standard for the national and state examination components? Option A, earn 60% on each portion. Option B, earn 75% as a combined average. Option C, earn 80% on the state portion only. Option D, earn at least 70% on each portion. The correct answer is option D, earn at least 70% on each portion. Candidates should prepare for both national principles and Maryland-specific law. The minimum score applies independently to each examination part. Strong performance on one portion cannot offset a failing result on the other. Question 21. Jonah is studying a rule concerning the operating limitation placed on a Maryland real estate salesperson. Which term should be chosen? Option A, act only on behalf of the affiliated broker. Option B, provide services independently of a broker. Option C, work for several brokers without notice. Option D, receive direct brokerage compensation from clients. The correct answer is option A, act only on behalf of the affiliated broker. The broker is responsible for reasonable and adequate supervision of affiliated licensees. Independent activity outside that relationship can violate licensing law. A salesperson's brokerage services are performed through the supervising broker. Question 22. When a duplex transaction involves the Maryland definition of a latent defect for residential disclosure purposes, which answer identifies the controlling concept? Option A, inform the buyer of statutory disclosure rights. Option B, a hidden material condition posing a direct health or safety threat. Option C, inform the seller of disclosure or disclaimer obligations. Option D, no duty to disclose a death or felony occurrence as a property defect. The correct answer is option B, a hidden material condition posing a direct health or safety threat. A seller choosing the disclaimer route must still disclose known qualifying latent defects. Its significance arises from the direct danger to a purchaser or occupant. The condition is not one a careful visual inspection would reasonably reveal. Question 23. A practice question describes the total statutory membership of the Maryland Real Estate Commission. Which response is best? Option A, 7 members. Option B, 11 members. Option C, 9 members. Option D, 15 members. The correct answer is option C, 9 members. The body combines professional expertise with consumer representation. 5 members are real estate professionals and 4 are consumer members. Geographic qualifications apply to designated professional seats. Question 24. During a contract revision, which principle is illustrated by the ethics instruction included in Maryland salesperson pre-licensing education? Option A, complete 1 hour of ethics. Option B, complete 5 hours of appraisal law. Option C, complete ethics only after licensure. Option D, complete 3 hours of approved real estate ethics. The correct answer is option D, complete 3 hours of approved real estate ethics. It addresses professional conduct in addition to substantive real estate principles. The ethics component is part of the approved education required before licensure. The applicant must still complete the remainder of the approved curriculum. Question 25. Which answer states the concept associated with the Maryland licensee who may serve as the dual agent in an authorized intra-minus company transaction? Option A, the broker or designated branch office manager. Option B, assign separate intra-minus company agents to the buyer and seller. Option C, written informed consent of all parties. Option D, do not reveal a client's negotiating limits without authorization. The correct answer is option A, the broker or designated branch office manager. An affiliated salesperson cannot simply appoint themselves to represent both sides. Confidential information remains protected except when disclosure is legally required. The dual agent manages the brokerage conflict and assigns separate intra-minus company representatives.